Welcome back to Midnight Mayhem. I'm hosting today. I'm Bobby and I love horror.
I'm Leo and I love movies.
And I'm Raymond, the other guy.
And today we're going to be talking about death metal. First time filmmaker, Michael.
Kushak.
Thank you.
We might be saying that wrong.
We tried our best.
We'll figure it out.
And how did we hear about this movie, guys? Raymond?
So, while Leo was getting his, millions of followers on Twitter, I was getting amassing a small, tight-knit group of horror dedicated people on Instagram. Make sure to follow, by the way. And he actually reached out to me and he goes, hey, I just made this movie, we're releasing Blu-rays right now. If you want, I can send one to you guys. And I was like, that's cool. So we got that worked out. All right. So you want to give us a quick rundown of the movie?
Quick rundown of the movie. It is basically cursed music of a death metal band.
Cursed music, the movie.
Basically, a band goes to an isolated area to record their music and create their album to launch to a studio. And the lead's guitarist, was it Ivan? Basically created a curse song. I forgot. That's it. And then shit hits the fan and shit gets going. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, pretty much.
That's the basic. That's the most basic thing I can. I
don't
want to give away too much. So.
Let me look up the characters and we'll just have them available. So if you guys that character, I can give you the name for him.
I just know it's Ivan because I remember that name.
And I know that the main girl, she had a pretty unique name that I can't remember right now.
What was it? Shadia?
I will let you know.
It's fine.
Her name was Shadia.
What did I say?
You said composer. No, I don't know what you said.
Oh, I said Shadia. Shadia.
Medea. All right, I got him up.
All right, so what do you want to start from? It's the first time we have to do a cut like this. Fuck.
Edit.
The magic of editing.
No, this is a legit video. It's gonna be hard. Okay.
And we just cut from dead silence and just now action, right? And then whatever
silence.
It is you're
doing. To him just cursing.
Just basic rundown of the movie.
Yeah, so we just did the rundown.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna just start from right there because I feel like I can do it better. Mm-hmm. Basic rundown of the movie. The lead guitarist creates a curse song using some scripture he found in Europe, and shit hits the fan from there. I don't want to go too much into details because I do want to encourage people to go ahead and watch this movie on their own because honestly, I felt inspired by the movie. I can see a lot of passion going into it. There's obvious flaws. I don't know what the budget of this movie was, but I can see what they were going for. I can feel the passion, like I said.
Yeah.
So that does help. Plus, last episode or the last update episode we did where we were talking about just jank, just stupid stuff that keeps happening.
Like our last video where the camera is completely crooked.
Yes. So,
but yeah, if you aren't fortunate enough to have the Blu-ray sent directly to you, it is also available on Tubi to watch for free if you don't mind the ads.
So please go check it out for yourself. We know some people just watch our videos directly, but I want to encourage people to go out and watch this on their own and make your own opinion. But we will give an honest review, and we'll just go from there. So we had a few cool characters. The possessed character, the main guitarist that caused everything to happen, was Ivan, right?
Yeah.
And he had a girlfriend who was supposed to be his love interest, but they didn't go into enough detail for me to be
I'm pretty sure that was his girlfriend.
It was his girlfriend,
but it was also she was their boss.
She was their manager, kind of.
Yeah. Manager, yeah.
Yeah. So, fun shout outs or fun references I saw where I thought of Hellraiser almost immediately a couple times from
Hellraiser. There was a scene and then maybe you can put a shot on there, but it reminded me of 13 Ghost.
13 Ghosts.
Towards the end.
I can feel that.
You saw that one?
Oh, no, but that's what I was thinking of. Hellraiser in that shot.
It's towards the end where you have was it 3 or 4 demons?
There were, I think it was 3 on that scene.
3? Yeah, they were that kind of looking down, and the camera was looking up, and you see them looking over whoever they're gonna kill right there at the point.
And so, because we have so much interaction directly with the director, for this movie, we're probably gonna also have an interview either included in this video or we're gonna have it as a separate video. We haven't decided that yet, but we'll get onto that when we get there.
Yeah, we'll leave that up to editing.
Yeah, Leo. So right off the bat, I'm gonna you want to just do a quick rating system just for people who might want to check it out or is like still on the fence about watching it?
Yeah.
So right off the bat, Leo, I'll let you go first.
I mean, judging from just like a filmmaking point of view, I can tell how much work went into this movie. You know, I can tell how much passion there was to it. I can tell the amount of work that went into like the production design, the long hours that they had to go through. Quick shout out to the makeup design and the makeup team. I love how the movie used mostly just practical effects. There was like I noticed like one CGI shot that was in there, and even that one CGI shot was pretty well done. It was the one where like you noticed I forgot her name. The first girl that goes into the barn when she gets possessed.
Anya.
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 You see it on her face when like it's like this cool. You know, you got like her face kind of like.
Yeah, the bloop.
The bloop. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know.
I think there was another moment of CGI. Oh, there's a couple that are like towards the end.
Yeah.
Specifically for one character's death.
Because when I saw the first like half of the movie, I was like, oh, like there's a lot of like it's like nothing but practical effects, and then I slowly started seeing like some of the CGI implemented into it.
Sure, yeah.
So,
nothing
like,
too distractible though.
Do you want to give it a number, or you want to leave it at that?
I'll give it a number. I'll give it like a 6 out of 10.
I feel that's appropriate, honestly.
Go just copy the IMDb score. Like I'll give it a 5.7.
No, I did check it out after the fact, but I was like, if I'm being like, I'm a little biased because I feel like
because it's cool that when somebody sent us the movie.
That plus it's like with acknowledgement, like the fact that he accomplished it, the fact that the whole team accomplished it, it's like that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's not like a Hollywood movie where it's like a first time debut where it's like, oh, you had like a budget,
Yeah,
like
you had opportunities, like you made your own way up here to get the movie out.
And also I'm biased too because it's like I know what it's like to be on the front lines of that.
Because you've worked on films.
And I worked on films like short films are way shorter than this, and it's like people go through hell, you know. Like I worked on like a 15-minute short film. This was like an hour and 40 minutes or so.
Yeah, it was pretty short. I think it was like
hour and 20,
over an hour, like
an hour and 24. Yeah, so it's like I went through hell just doing that 15-minute short.
So
can't imagine this.
Yeah, true like horror lover version of me, or not critic, but just film lover, I guess, would be 6 out of 10. But with everything involved, I'm like, all right, 7 out of 10. Give it a solid. I think it's sufficient. I think it accomplished what it meant to do. I just know that it's not going to be like the highest budget. It's not going to be the greatest acting. It's not going to be the like refined horror that is like
great soundtrack. Great soundtrack.
Yeah, no, that plus I love death metal. So
yeah, I know, me too.
So Raymond,
so here's my completely original score. I would give it a 5.7.
Just copy and paste the
current IMDb.
I liked a lot of the horror elements to the movie. I'm not super big into music, especially like death metal. So it's not like for me, you know. So but like I didn't mind it in the movie. It wasn't like, hey, every other scene is gonna be death metal. Like if you've ever seen the movie of the opening of Suicide Squad, how they just kept throwing songs and songs and songs at you.
Oh yeah.
The movie didn't have that problem, and they could have, because you said
just kept blasting it.
Yeah, because he said he read an interview where he basically put out an open audition, and he was like, "Hey, I wanna have some death metal bands part of the soundtrack.
Yeah,
so if anyone wants to, throw some songs my way," and he said he got like a lot of submissions, so he could have just like blasted the whole movie with like just death metal, and he didn't do that. And I was like, okay, like as a casual viewer, I was like, I appreciated that I wasn't like overly saturated with death metal, especially a movie about death metal.
Literally titled death metal. The opening band Incantation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that literally was like Incantation at the very end. I was like, yeah,
it's pretty cool. Yeah,
it was fun.
I like.
I know it was like a whole song, but I still was like, let's go.
It was a good song. It was a great song.
All right, so do you guys want to do strengths? What made it a horror first, or
let's talk about the horror elements first, and then we'll get into the film portion of it.
So we're gonna be jumping into spoilers going forward. So like I said, please check it out for yourself. Again, we know it's not for everyone, but support creators, and we could feel the passion on this project, and I honestly love it because of that. I'm just like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna love this thing. I'm gonna have this chair. It's gonna be somewhere up here permanently,
and I don't know if it shows up on camera. I hope it does. It's signed, so that's pretty neat.
If it can't, we'll put a picture.
Or check it out on the Instagram. That's fine too.
Oh yeah, promote that.
Hey, tag my thing.
I did like 3 times.
Yeah, do one more.
All right, so
what did you like about the movie as a horror film?
As a horror?
As a horror.
The kills were super fun. I wish they were all over the top like that. The opening kill, the very first kill of the movie, the decapitation, was like,
I like that one.
The hanging, yeah, it was like
that was my favorite one.
I got pumped. I was like, hell yeah, let's go! I thought they were all gonna be like over the top like that.
I thought the movie was gonna like
ramp up,
start, you know, like because they listen to music, and then
it was like set up. There's
the maggot scene, right? And then immediately after. Like they're listening to music and you see like all the transitions between like the sheet music and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just showing everybody listening to the music. And there's one shot that I had to point out to him, but it's just the guy Ivan, and he's listening to the music, and you just see the witch like right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like a 1 second. It's like a 1 second scene, but it's like
it's during that compilation in the beginning when they're listening to the music, and it's just like quick cutting between the characters, and like one super quick cut, you see the witch or the witch, right?
Yeah, witch. Yeah.
I paused it a few times during that just to read some of the wording and stuff.
Like I missed it during the first watch. I had Raymond like show me. He's like, "Oh look, did you notice that?" I was like, "No, I didn't."
All right, I can keep going, but I'll let you guys talk.
There was another part where, like something. What happened immediately after the maggots? Right, like there's a scene where they show the barn. You just see the witch like standing.
Yes, a very creepy.
I really like that shot.
I love that shot.
And I thought, oh shoot, like are we just starting? Like are we just gonna go up from here?
Yeah.
But then it slogged a little bit, and then it went back to like all the like what's been going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first major kill was. So tell me this: the girl Anya, right?
Yes.
Was she around most of the time? Because I feel like that was just the witch in disguise.
No, she was there. She was in the opening scene. And
I know she was there, but I'm saying like after she left the studio, she was like, "Oh, like, I heard my mom's voice, and like I don't know how you guys got my mom's voice. Like she's dead," and she storms out into the barn.
Yeah, and then they just kind of like do that little fake out. That's not her, and then it's her again. I'm assuming later on, because
that's what I'm saying. But then they show her again later. And they're like, "Oh, like there she is," and
she's like,
it's not her.
She's like fully possessed again,
or it's either she's fully possessed or it's just not her.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty valid thing. I considered her dead after.
She was the first one to go, right?
Second.
Oh yeah.
Because
it's confusing because she disappears.
Yeah.
Then her boyfriend goes after her, and she's like, "Hey, you want to get freaky in the barnyard?" And he's like, "Hey, like." You're not my girlfriend. I'm gonna go, and then
I know. I like how you noticed it right away. He's like, no, I gotta get out of here.
That was fun. I thought he was gonna just go for it.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, is this movie about to get amazing?
And then that just back to horror. Sorry, we're tangents. But that shot of the wind blowing on the witch, or I would just call it a witch because it's just
where she's standing in the barn, right, where you first see her.
And yes, and it was creepy. And I was like, oh, like good atmosphere.
I was expecting that.
Yeah, I was too, but I was like, it felt good. Like as you go into,
it felt like a deserved shot.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's true.
The wind blowing and everything, like the hair. Like, I was like, it looked ominous. It felt ominous. It was good. It was a good shot. Leo.
One of the biggest strengths for me is probably like with the practical effects
for the horror aspect of it.
Horror aspect, like you say, like that first decapitation scene, like they
very good. Yes,
they could have just gone the cheap route and just kind of like quick cut, like just some random mannequin head on the floor with like hair, and then some just bloody body on the floor. But they went the whole way.
They could have gone a more serious tone too, and they could have just been like, oh, like he just legit hung himself.
Yeah. But I love how over the top it was.
Yeah.
That's what made it fun.
He's like, well, like that doesn't make sense. Like how is his head be decapitated? And I was like, well, there was a rat inside. Like maybe it was like weakening the structure.
Even though he just put it on. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. I loved it. There was another part that was just very similar to that. Because all the over the top portions were the most fun.
Yeah. I like that. I like that he kept coming back.
Oh yeah, as a floating head.
Yeah.
And with the spine and everything. I really enjoyed, from practical effects, I really enjoyed the possession of Anya. Every time I heard Anya, I kept thinking of Buffy. So
I kept thinking of Spy Family.
Oh, that's pretty good. What is it? When she was possessed and attacking them in the studio booth, the practical effects on the bite marks opening and closing, like actual teeth.
That threw me off because like I saw the teeth grow and I was like what am I looking at? Like is this teeth?
Yeah, I was like, what?
That was
and
then
I
funny,
guess
yeah.
like
I enjoyed it.
She had,
Though.
she had like a chunk missing from her shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess it became a mouth. And like when he was like trying to grab her to pull her off, it bit his hand.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's cool. Like that's like you don't. I wouldn't think of that if I was making a horror movie.
good job. That I enjoyed the heck out of that, and it was practical. So like, I'm pretty sure it was like puppets or something at that point.
It was like a little like I was trying to figure out how they did because like her shoulder was right there, her arm was holding him down, but at the same time like I don't know how they were kind of like making the mouth move.
She probably
like,
has a Siamese twin.
They had a little pump.
it was like it was a little prosthetic, but at the same time I was like, how are they making that? You know,
Maybe like a little robotic.
No,
just
no,
open and close.
It moved way too natural for it to be robotic. Like it wasn't kind of like.
That's why I said maybe it was a pump. I remember I was looking at it. I was like, I was like, I can't tell how they did it, but it was fun.
And once we get the interview through, we could be like,
that's
hey,
something
like,
I want to ask.
How that was cool. How'd you do it?
I know, yeah.
As long as it's not like, magician never reveals his secret, then we'll, we'll wait for the special features to come out on the next Blu-ray.
I was like, is my mic moving forward?
Speaking of moving forward, how's the camera looking? Looks good?
Looks good for me, man.
All right.
Cool. You guys continue. I fix this.
But yeah, man. I mean, like I said.
Thanks for trusting us with your movie. To all 12 of our viewers.
Another strength was the soundtrack. So there was a lot of metal in this. I love metal. So it was cool how like he chose like really, I don't want to say really good songs because that just sounds like an asshole move, you know.
No,
but
like if you weren't choosing for the movie,
I know, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Like I like the what was it, Cannibal Corpse cover.
The cover.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I
was like, man, because I remember I was listening to music, the song, and I was like, why does it kind of sound familiar? And then when after the fact, when we did some research. Like, oh no, that was just a cover of Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, because we weren't sure because we were like, oh, they're kind of lingering on the song for a little long. Like what?
Maybe, I liked it.
No, because I mean, just like for the scene, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, like maybe it's like an original song that they wanted to like, show off. But yeah, it was a cover.
So moving from the aspects of horror, do you guys want to talk about things you liked about the movie, or do you guys want to start talking about things that we were so about? It's up to you guys.
I mean,
choose the path.
Yeah, because
either we're
going to stick on horror for a little bit longer,
sure,
or going straight into the film portion of this.
Let's just go to the straight.
Let's do it. All right. So, all
right. Does anyone else's eyes hurt from the cuts?
That's massive.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't mind them at first, and then it got a bit much at a certain point.
I think if you just watch the movie and you're not like into film that much, and you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna watch this movie. You're not gonna notice it, but if somebody's like, "Oh, hey, like notice how often they switch the camera angle," you're gonna notice it like twice as much.
I think the moment I didn't notice, like it threw me off the most was when they're having that fight scene and they're trying to get the paper.
That one was.
I got super confused. I was like, "Oh, he knocked him out," and then he's like, "No!" He tore off the paper.
It, like, oh, so
I was like, "He won?" I was like, "What?" I was like, I got confused. Because you just see him just like just knock this dude in the stomach, and then all of a sudden he's the one who like won the fight. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That and what was it? I don't know. I felt like some of the stuff in post was kind of questionable. Like a lot of the special
like some of the what did you say when we were watching it? Like we saw the opening of the film together, and it was like the saturation of some of the shots where they just like raise it.
No, it was
when the lightning. I remember in the beginning was just like.
The establishing shot was established like 15 times.
The first venue they play, they keep showing the outside of it, and I was like, oh, like is something gonna happen? Like, is this like where we're gonna start the movie? And they just kept showing the outside of the wherever they were playing.
I guess it was more for atmosphere, you know.
More for atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, because they had a crowd.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So they could have that could have been the atmosphere. They had a live band. They had Incantation playing.
Yeah.
You know, they could have gotten B-roll of the actual concert.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
sure.
think But I'm not a filmmaker, so I don't know if that would have been like. I don't know what I'm talking about, basically. So I just felt like they kept showing the outside, and I kept thinking like something's gonna happen, and then it was just like, oh no, that's where we are.
Yeah, no, I mean usually when the show's an outside shot, it's like an establishing shot, and that was usually an establishing shot. You know?
I know the early one was meant to be like, oh, they're isolated.
Sure.
That one was obvious, but like, I don't know, like there was a lot of B-roll in between stuff. Which is fine. I don't. It felt a little more like padding sometimes, and I was like, okay, it's kind of unfortunate. That was like the biggest knock was that.
Yeah.
because I didn't really mind the acting. Like when you go into it, like a B horror, like something that's a low budget horror, you expect that from the acting.
Yeah,
the practical effects are unique to themselves. Those are all
the practical effects was the best thing.
Music was solid. It literally just came down to just like the biggest knock is editing on a lot of portions of it, and a little bit of hand holding on some parts where it was like.
I actually thought they could have used more.
Of which parts though?
Of hand holding. So there's a part where they're like, "Hey, the bus is gone. Like, where's the bus?"
Yeah,
right.
It's gone.
And then you go to, like, it's fine that the bus is disappeared because like, hey, like we don't have a way to leave. Like, oh yeah, sure, like magic, whatever. Like it's gone.
Yes.
So then the next scene, she's like talking to Ivan. And then the next scene cuts over to the two other people. It's Anya and the guy with the beard.
Oh man, what was his name?
We got the whole thing pulled up.
I have it, but
he was like one of my favorite characters because he was ridiculous.
Photos for everyone.
I think it was Fleming. Fleming, yes.
So it was Anya and Fleming, and they're walking in the woods, and I'm thinking like, maybe
wait,
they're just getting away from it.
You're talking about the guy she was having an affair with. I thought you were talking about the studio guy. Fleming is the guy who was like a macho man that like was like, I ain't no simp.
The studio guy was Joe, right?
Let me check. Let me double check.
I'm pretty sure the studio guy was Joe.
I think Joe was his assistant.
Oh yeah, that's
Fleming
right.
Was
my assistant Joe.
Yeah. that was a weird editing. I don't know if you noticed it.
I'm listening.
When Fleming's trying to hype him up, he's like, "Yeah, like get crazy, get wild,
we're
get
gonna
loud.
We're gonna make an awesome death metal album."
This is my assistant.
It just cuts.
That was
my
super
assistant
quick,
Joe.
super jarring.
Yeah.
No, that was one of my favorite aspects of the movie. I
liked how much it threw me off of like what was going on. Because I was like, yeah, I get he's trying to hype him, but like I don't really get it. And then it was like immediately like, this is Joe. I was like, I like Joe.
I'm gonna just talk about strains because it's just one of the things I loved about the movie was there was a lot of just really funny humor, just thrown throughout.
Right.
Like where he's like, where's your horns? And he's like, it's against my religion. And later in the film, we get the Hell Satan.
Like just walking by, like, I'm not gonna wear it. I can't wear it. It goes against my religion.
Anyway, Hell Satan.
there was one part, or there's a part where I was like, in terms of scripting, right?
I'm listening.
When they're saying like, oh, there's a way to reverse the curse and this and that.
I wish there wasn't, but yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying like, oh, I hope it's not something as simple as like, oh, just play it in reverse.
Play it in reverse.
Yeah, like a cliche.
But then when she goes to do it, I was like, oh, you know what'd be cool, is if it was like, in order to complete the ritual, you have to play it forward, and then in reverse. So when he told her, like, oh, there's a way to reverse the curse, he was actually manipulating her into completing the ritual. I thought that would have been a fantastic ending, like a super dark ending. But I mean, they were able to reverse it overall when she played in reverse in the studio.
And they technically did complete the ritual, kinda.
Technically, yeah.
Because
that's why. I mean, at this point,
I think
spoilers for the end.
Restarted.
Yeah.
No, because Ivan was basically again full spoilers for the end. The ending, Ivan's basically a demon at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think it restarted. I think it's just literally like he became a demon.
Yeah.
I just wish they just let her become a demon as well. I thought that would have been cool.
Just a bad ending.
Just a bad ending.
Yeah. Because I was saying, I was like,
thought the demon
I would rather.
Cool.
I thought they were sick.
I would rather.
I was like, yeah, like it doesn't make sense why you'd survive this.
I was like, I would have rather had everybody die, or like turn, as opposed to them reversing the curse. But I completely forgot, like, because the movie kind of goes like off the walls at a certain point, and I completely forget that they sent out the demo already.
Yeah.
To like the best character.
Because they had
the most innocent character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just like, man, like, yeah, I'll give you guys a shot. Like, just send me the demo whenever you guys can.
The studio was gonna drop them because of something happened in the EU, right? Like.
Yeah. Which I don't think they went into a lot of detail, but pretty much I think they just bombed, and then Ivan just like dipped for like the last portion of the tour.
Yeah.
In Europe.
So that's when they found out that he's like, oh, he was like searching for this like sheet of music that's like demonic.
Found it.
You found it, yeah. And it worked.
So in reality, he.
Good job, Ivan.
He succeeded. Yeah, he succeeded.
Somebody's trying to help the band out.
I was hoping they would go into a little detail about like, because whenever he got hurt, whenever his friends got hurt, made me think of Pumpkinhead like immediately. I don't know if you saw that old classic horror
No, it's on my radar, but I haven't like gone.
Pumpkinhead.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, you claim revenge on someone, and then when the revenge is completed on that person, you feel the pain. So I thought he sacrificed each of his bandmates in order for this album to become successful.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that was gonna happen.
Except he didn't, and this is how I understood it, or at least I was imagining it, was that he sacrificed everyone except his girl, and she wasn't supposed to hear the song, but she did. So then that's why everything kind of hit the fan the way it did. That's how I interpreted
makes
it.
Sense.
That's literally how I interpreted the movie, but
yeah,
maybe I'm just pulling that out of my butt. I don't think so though. Is there anything else you guys want to discuss? Because I feel like we ran through everything at this point.
I think I'm good.
Huge shout out
Yeah.
to Jacqueline Adamson, the makeup artist for the movie.
Yeah.
We enjoy practical effects here. That's why this little guy's name is Brian.
And look at that. She worked on the Avengers, the Escape Plan, Fun Size, Draft Day. It's a pretty good resume, man.
Yes.
It's a pretty good resume.
And I know he's our director here has a new movie coming up soon, a sci-fi, right? At least at the time of this recording.
Yes,
So,
yes. His
We'll go ahead and blast it on screen up here.
There
From the
go.
shadows.
There you go, From the Shadows.
Yeah, check it out because again, supports small creators. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity to check it out. I enjoyed it. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
If anybody else has any movies that they created and want to send to us,
we
share.
Still have a P.O. box.
We still have
reach
a P.O.
out to
box,
us either on Twitter or Instagram, and we will send you the information.
If you have any horror shorts or anything like that, just let us know. We'll review it, and we also shine light to that short and those films that you guys make as well.
And we'll try to keep it genuine. So thank you so much for watching. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.